They smile, they promise, they stand beside you until they don't. No one is your friend. At first this may sound harsh, but it is not cruelty, it is clarity. In the Shaolin tradition, we are not trained to chase comfort, we are trained to seek truth, and truth often hides in silence, in solitude, in the moments when the world forgets your name. This teaching is not an attack on friendship. It is not a call to mistrust others. It is a reminder that inner strength is never borrowed. It is forged alone. In this world of masks and shifting loyalties, who really stands with you when the lights go out? Who understands your silence, your pain, your path? The answer, my student, is simple. You must. Today, I will show you the hidden message behind this phrase. You will learn why even the warmest connection can become a distraction. Why solitude is not isolation, but preparation. And why your greatest breakthroughs will arrive when no one is watching, when no one is helping, and when no one understands. This is a part of warriors, of those who do not fear being alone, because they have met themselves. And by the end of this teaching, you will begin to see the world differently, clearer, sharper, lighter. Because the moment you stop needing others to complete you is the moment you return to your original power. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire. If you are ready to burn through illusion and master your own mind, subscribe now and let's begin. There is a silence deeper than noise, the silence of not knowing who you are without others. Many seek belonging, but what they truly seek is permission to be accepted, to feel worthy, to escape the discomfort of standing alone. In the Shaolin path, this hunger is recognized not as strength, but as bondage. When your sense of identity depends on how others see you, you are not living, you are performing. Most relationships today are not rooted in truth. They are contracts built from fear. Fear of being unloved, fear of being forgotten, fear of being with oneself. A man surrounds himself with many friends, not because he is strong, but because he is afraid of his own company. A woman holds on to a partner who diminishes her, not because she is weak, but because she has forgotten her inner light. True belonging cannot be given to you. It must be discovered within you. It is not about fitting in. It is about standing in alignment with values that do not shift, with truth that does not tremble. The Shaolin warrior does not seek applause. He walks in stillness, grounded in his own breath, unmoved by praise or rejection. He knows to belong to oneself is the first mastery. All other bonds flow from there. When you let go of needing to be understood, you begin to understand. When you stop begging to be accepted, you begin to accept yourself. And in that quiet turning inward, something changes. Not loud, not dramatic, but real. You are no longer a shadow following others. You become the source. This is not isolation. It is awakening. We often think we see people clearly, but what we see is not them. It is our attachment to who we want them to be. The moment you call someone friend, the mind begins to build stories. Expectations form, roles are assigned. You believe they should act a certain way, speak certain words, protect you, support you, always. But reality doesn't follow your scripts. People are not fixed, they change, just like the seasons. And when they no longer meet the image you created, suffering begins, not because they changed, but because you could not let go of your illusion. In ancient teachings, attachment is described as a veil thin, but blinding. It covers not only the truth of others, but your own clarity. You become reactive, disappointed, and even resentful, and still you hold on to the label. Discipline is not just in movement or meditation, it is also in perception. To see someone as they are without needing them to fulfill a role in your life, that is a higher form of strength. Presence dissolves projection. When you meet another human without clinging to who they were yesterday or who you wish them to be tomorrow, your vision sharpens. You hear not just their words, but their silence. You feel not just their energy, but your own responses. This kind of awareness requires courage. It asks you to give up comfort for truth, to release the safety of labels, and stand in the openness of each moment. It is not easy, but it is freeing. When the mind is clear, the heart becomes light. And from this space, connection is no longer a cage. It becomes a mirror, revealing more of who you truly are. There is a quiet truth that few want to accept. You cannot save anyone. In the teachings of Shaolin and Buddhism, every soul carries its own karma, its own lessons, burdens, and path. No matter how deeply you love someone, no matter how clear your vision may be, their journey is theirs alone. You can walk beside them. You can offer your hand, your wisdom, your presence, but you cannot walk for them. The moment you try, you step out of your own path. You take on what was never yours to carry, and slowly both of you become lost. Compassion is not control. True compassion allows others to struggle, to fall, to rise again without interference. It is the art of being near but not entangled, of trusting the process even when it is painful to witness. Shaolin discipline teaches us to return to our center, to observe without grasping, to help when called but not to impose. This requires strength of heart and stillness of mind. Often our desire to intervene comes from fear that someone we care about will suffer or lose their way. But suffering is also a teacher, and sometimes getting lost is the first step to awakening. When you respect another's journey, you respect the sacredness of your own. You stop trying to fix and start learning to trust. Not everything broken needs your hands. Not every silence is asking for your voice. Your path is sacred, so is theirs. And when two people walk in presence, not needing, not saving, simply being, then something rare happens. Not attachment, not rescue, but alignment. This is how wisdom travels, side by side, not tied together. The world is always moving. People come and go. Emotions rise and fall like the ocean tide. What feels certain today may disappear tomorrow. To place your trust in personalities is to build your foundation on sand. One day, someone may inspire you, guide you, even protect you. The next, they may forget you, misunderstand you, or turn away without warning. This is not betrayal, it is the nature of impermanence. In the Shaolin path, we do not anchor ourselves to the changing faces of the world. We return instead to what does not shift: principle, truth, compassion, discipline. These are not opinions or moods. They are steady like mountains, unchanged by praise or criticism, untouched by the chaos of the moment. To live by principle is to become still within, even as the world turns. When someone deceives you, you return to truth. When someone harms you, you return to compassion. When the path is unclear, you return to discipline. These are your true companions. Personalities may inspire, but principles sustain. This is the essence of inner mastery. Not reacting to the waves, but learning to float above them. Not seeking control over others, but alignment within the self. Principles do not flatter. They do not comfort the ego. They challenge you, test you, sharpen you, and in doing so, they liberate you. There will always be moments when others disappoint, when the world does not go your way. In those moments, ask yourself, what am I standing on? If it is another person, you will fall. If it is a principle, you will rise, quietly, steadily, without fear. Because in a world of shifting forms, only the formless can carry you through. Loneliness is not the enemy, it is the doorway. In the noise of daily life, it is easy to forget who you are. Surrounded by voices, demands, distractions, you wear masks without noticing. But when silence comes and no one else is there to reflect you, something deeper begins to rise. Shaolin monks choose solitude not to escape the world, but to meet themselves fully. In the stillness there is no one to impress, no one to blame, no one to lean on. Only breath, only presence, only the truth you've been avoiding. What most call loneliness is not emptiness, it is space. And space is sacred. It is the place where clarity emerges, where the mind slows down and the heart begins to speak. This is where real training begins. In solitude, your thoughts become louder. Your emotions rise like shadows on the wall. But do not run from them. Observe, sit with them. They are your teachers. The path of mastery is not crowded. It winds through forests of silence, valleys of stillness, and peaks of deep self-confrontation. To walk it, you must be willing to feel the discomfort of being alone, and to stay there long enough to hear what it has to say. Discipline in solitude is powerful. It sharpens focus, it builds inner strength, and it teaches you the rarest lesson of all, that you are enough, not because someone else says so, but because you've seen it for yourself. The one who can be alone without falling apart is unshakable. The one who embraces loneliness as a teacher, not a curse, becomes untouchable. In stillness, you find your center, and from your center, you begin again, not lost, not lonely, but whole. Wisdom does not come from speaking. It comes from seeing, quietly, patiently, without the need to respond. In the ancient way, the one who watches learns more than the one who argues. Words are often masks, but behavior, especially in silence, speaks clearly. Watch how someone moves when the room is watching them. Then watch again when no one is looking. See how they speak when they desire something. Then listen to their silence when nothing is left to gain. This contrast reveals more than any confession ever will. To observe without reacting is a discipline. It requires you to step back from your emotions, from your desires, from your urge to control or judge. Instead, you become still, like water that reflects the sky without clinging to it. This stillness sharpens your sight. You begin to notice the small shifts in tone, the tension behind a smile, the impatience hidden beneath kindness. These details, once missed, now become teachers. Shaolin discipline is rooted in this quiet presence. The body is trained, yes, but the mind is trained to wait, to listen, to see what lies beyond appearance. Reactions are easy, wisdom is not. To speak quickly is to miss the truth. To stay silent and observe is to allow it to rise on its own. In this world, many seek to be heard. Few seek to understand. Be among the few. Let your silence be a mirror in which the truth becomes visible, not only in others, but within yourself. From this space, action becomes powerful, not rushed, not emotional, but clear, precise, and rooted in deep awareness. The one who watches without judgment moves with wisdom when the time is right, and that timing changes everything. The need to be understood is a quiet form of bondage. It ties your peace to the thoughts of others. It hands your inner calm to opinions, to approval, to validation that may never come. In the Shaolin way, the one who must explain himself is still holding on to ego. Ego wants to be seen, praised, defended, but the true self has nothing to prove. It simply is. When you live to be understood, your energy scatters. You bend your truth to fit someone else's mind. You speak not from stillness, but from fear, fear of being misread, misjudged, or forgotten. But understanding is not something you can force. It ripens in silence. It arrives when hearts are ready, not when mouths are loud. Turn instead toward understanding. Watch others. Listen, not to reply, but to learn, not to correct, but to connect. When you shift from being the one who wants to be heard to the one who truly hears, everything softens, the burden lifts, you begin to walk lightly. In this space, your actions begin to speak in ways your words never could. The steadiness of your mind, the kindness in your tone, the discipline in your choices, these do not need to be explained. They are felt, and those who are meant to understand will. This is not about silence in weakness. It is silence in strength. A silence that knows truth needs no defense. A silence that flows like water, gentle but unstoppable. The more you understand yourself, the less you crave to be understood by others. And that is freedom. Not all closeness is connection, and not all connection brings clarity. There are people who stand beside you, laugh with you, share your days, but do not truly see you. Their presence feels warm, but something inside remains unsettled. In the discipline of inner mastery, this is known as mistaken alignment. Emotional closeness can feel like truth, but often it is just familiarity, habit, history, or comfort. Some relationships reflect your image, not your essence. They feed your ego, tell you what you want to hear, mirror your strengths, avoid your wounds. But the soul does not grow in flattery. It grows in honesty. There are those who challenge your illusion, who question your masks, who hold up a mirror not just to your light, but also to your shadow. This is clarity. And clarity does not always feel comfortable, but it always feels clean. In the ancient teachings, clarity is like a sharp blade. It cuts through confusion, but only if you are willing to be cut. Only if you are willing to see, without defense, what is real and what is not. Clarity does not speak loudly. It is the quiet sense of alignment when your heart is still, your mind is sharp, and your path feels true. To seek clarity is to value truth over belonging, depth over attention, and presence over performance. It will not lead you to many, but it will guide you to the few who see your soul, not your image, who stand with you, not for what you offer, but for who you are becoming. Walk with those who bring clarity, even if the road becomes quieter, for in that silence, the soul finally breathes. Your energy is not unlimited. It is sacred, born of stillness, discipline, and deep inner work. To treat it carelessly is to abandon your tempo. In Shaolin practice, every movement is intentional. Every breath is respected. The body is trained, yes, but equally the spirit is guarded, not with walls but with wisdom. Not everyone who enters your life should enter your inner world. Some come with noise, with chaos, with hunger that does not feed but drains. And if you are not watchful, you give away what took years to build. There is strength in kindness, but there is power in discernment. To be open is not the same as being unguarded. You can offer presence without surrendering your peace. You can show compassion without becoming a container for another's imbalance. Energy flows where attention goes. If your attention is scattered, so is your strength. In ancient teachings, the self is seen as a flame. Too much wind and it flickers. Too much fuel and it burns out. The wise know how to protect the fire. Feed it with silence, surround it with stillness, share it only with care. Discipline is not only about the body. It is about who you allow into your space. It is about learning to say no, not with anger, but with clarity. Those who respect your energy will never demand it. Those who deserve your presence will never pull it from you. Choose with care. Speak with intention. Rest when needed. Retreat when necessary. Not all battles are worth your light. Protect your peace. It is not selfish, it is sacred. There is a moment on the path when the noise fades and you are left with only yourself, no audience, no comfort, no one to impress or lean on. This moment is not a punishment, it is an invitation. To walk the way of mastery, you must first learn to sit with yourself, without distraction, without judgment, without reaching for another voice to fill the silence. Many chase peace in people, places, and promises, but all of it fades. And when it does, what remains? If your stillness depends on someone else's presence, you are never truly at rest. To be your own friend is to return to your breath when the world pulls you outward. It is to look in the mirror and not turn away. It is to know your flaws, your wounds, your doubts, and still choose to stand by yourself. This is not arrogance. It is alignment. In the old teachings, solitude was never seen as lack. It was seen as strength. The sages, monks, and warriors of the past spent years in silence, not to escape others, but to discover themselves. They learned to become their own counsel, their own comfort, their own mirror. You are the only companion who will be with you from your first breath to your last. Shouldn't you learn to walk in peace with that presence? Be patient with yourself. Speak to yourself with care. Protect your spirit as you would a dear friend. The world may misunderstand you, others may leave. But if you can remain rooted in your own being, you will never be truly lost. From that inner friendship, all other relationships become clearer, stronger, freer, because only when you no longer need anyone to complete you, do you begin to meet others in truth. The journey is not to turn away from others, but to turn inward first. This teaching is not a rejection of love, friendship, or connection. It is a reminder. These things are most beautiful when they are chosen from wholeness, not from lack. When you stop depending on others to fill the empty spaces within you, you begin to see clearly. You begin to walk with discernment, not desperation. You learn to stand with others without leaning, to love without losing yourself, to give without fear. Shaolin wisdom invites us to shift from reaction to awareness, to ask each day, am I seeking peace outside or uncovering it within? Let this become your practice. In silence, return to yourself. In solitude, meet your strength. And in every connection, remain rooted in your own center. This is the path of the inner warrior. Calm, clear, awake. Thank you for walking this path with us today. If this teaching brought you stillness, share it with someone who may need it. Like this video and subscribe to Shaolin Soulfire, where ancient wisdom becomes living practice. Until next time, walk gently and stay close to your truth.